Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and it's Serie A, and it's week 4, and it's all going off in Italy. We've got, obviously, Tan and Alex is going to be here. They are absolutely on fire. But first of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means we'll notify you. You'll never miss any content again. And with these two, you definitely don't want to be missing any content. I fancy there's a little Netflix serial for these two. Maybe off the little bit of the Mad Boys that used to be in the gallery of the Muppets. Also, if you press the link in the description, that will take you over to the articles where Tan or Alex or Dave or Martin have wrote you soccer pieces. There's other writers for other sports because we cover everything here on SBR. Remember, 71,000 subscribers, growing at daily. Wow. And it's all down to you. You throw that rock in the water, the ripples go out. Wow. Remember to tell your friends. You go to the movies, you love a video, you tell your friends. You love this video, then first of all, stick the thumbs up. Not for me, but for them. And obviously then tell your friends and they can get involved. And if it is your first time, get yourselves involved. You're our third guest. Alex, Tan, welcome, gentlemen. Nice to be back because obviously we were flying in the last series of Serie A. Then we have the international break. And now we've got some absolute crackers. I've got to come to you first, though, Tan. It's all about Juve.
I thought it was all about me. Sorry. I thought it was
it will.
Come on.
No, I didn't want to say that. I said, I heard. I think he was saying it's all about you. I said, no, come on. It's a show of 3 tenors. Let's not do it that way.
I was absolutely over the moon because I had Juve and over 2.5 goals against Napoli and they win 3-0. I was absolutely over the moon.
I would say, come on the town, because first of all, buongiorno to everybody. First of all, I have to show this that I've just received with even a very nice message from Sean McCavitt. I hope I'm reading in the right way. Is the shirt of Dundalk that he has sent over till Milan. It's a very, very nice message. I have to read it. Sorry to talk about my private things. Please, hello, Tancredi. Please find enclosed as promised a jersey for Island Club Dundalk FC, current champion. Well, they are in Europa League against Arsenal. This is the training jersey. It's fantastic. You have to see. It's like petrol down. It's like black turning to grey. It's fantastic. All home and away were sold out. Enjoy, my friend. I believe the Irish way to cheer away is like Akara. Do you know? He's writing Akara. Do you know? How do you read it? I hope I'm saying good. But anyway, grazie mille. I was so cheered up.
Grazie tutti. Come on, let's... Okay.
Sean, it was really great. I will dedicate a tweet. Aside that, we are trying to do our best with tips. I have to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Flash, we did our best in the last...
Oh, we had the parlay up. The parlay was up. I mean, the parlay hit in England, Germany, and Italy on the last weekend. So we're over the moon with that. We had bankers in. We'll go through the record in a second. But first of all, I want to just talk to you about Juve and what's the feeling like of them being handed a 3-0 victory and Napoli -1 point?
Yes, indeed. I mean, everything is not finishing here, the things. Basically, I will make it short because it's not short at all.
Please,
yesterday,
first.
The sports attorney said...
One second before you someone saying on the chat that Juve's match got called off. Do you know anything about that with Crotone?
No.
Okay.
What are they saying?
No. Probably they are talking about the Napoli one, but I thought that is something latest news that Tancredi doesn't know, and I thought, that would be.
As you know, that is not possible. So what I was saying is that sports attorney applied. The rule said Napoli didn't show up, so it's 3-0 sanction and docking 1 point. It's not like a harsh punishment. It's like the normal punishment. If you don't show up, you get also 1 point docking. Anyway, these things is just at the first half. It's just opening now. It's not finished as a topic, because actually in the sentence the sports attorney wrote, as Napoli cancelled their booking 1 day before the game and in between the first and the second local health authority communication, so they didn't really have any intention to travel to Turin. Now, I'm not sure actually that can really have some solid ground when they will go, because they will go to a proper court for the appeal of Napoli. So the situation is just opening now. It's not finished yet.
Okay. Well, let's have a look at the records then, please, Freddie, because the boys have done super, super well. And we're only just starting. So here we go. Alex up 0.70. That's probably wrong, is it, Alex? Tancredi plus 7.59. You're sizzling. Flash up 3.5. Parlay up 3.42. And the total after week 3 at a massive 15.21. The parlays of 2 and 1. They always pay off. Anyway, listen, that's fish and chip paper. Let's look to add to this. Alex, I'm going to come to you first. We obviously spoke about Napoli being -1. Well, they're in their first game. And if you're coming off an international break and you haven't played, you don't really want to be playing these visitors. Napoli plus 150, draw plus 300, and Atalanta at plus 165. We're talking about Atalanta. We're asking Alex, so get settled in, get your popcorn, get your cup of tea, and enjoy.
I think that this will be the most exciting match of the round in Serie A. Okay, we have also Inter versus AC Milan, but we'll talk about that later on. Of course, Napoli are very, very unlucky with what happened with Juventus. From top of the league right now, they are 8th, -1 point from the league, -3 points from Juventus. So it's a little bit, let's say, not unlucky. Let's say sad for them to see them in this situation here. They are absolutely a great squad. I think that they will finish the season in top 4. This is my belief, because they have a very strong squad if you look at it. But we have Atalanta on the other side. Atalanta top of the league, 13 goals in 3 matches, absolutely cruising right now. Everybody is scoring for Atalanta. Their attacking firepower is just unbelievable. Also their midfielders, also their defenders are scoring right now. Freyler scored against Germany an absolutely stunning goal when he played in the international break with his Switzerland squad. Normally you see Atalanta against the small teams playing with both Muriel and Zapata there in front. It happened last time against Cagliari, but this time against Napoli, I don't think that. I think that only one of them will be in the starting 11, and probably the other one will come join in the second half. Papu Gomez is absolutely amazing in the final third. Just brilliant, great assists, great shots from outside the box. As I said, he's the brain for Atalanta, and I see an offensive game from both teams. I think that both will go all fire blazing there. So I'm seeing a lot of goals. The Alex Classic is very, very low, but I'm seeing more goals in the second half. So I'm going second half goals, both teams to score at 2.35 in the second half.
Wow, that's great value. Tan, I think I see this game as being really, really heated. Are we going to see a Napoli side that are going to come out and want to respond? I mean, I think some of the boys in here, and we've got plenty chat going on. They love their Serie A. Tan, do you worry that they might not finish with 11v11 here?
I don't know. I didn't see, honestly, in that point of view. That last year it was pretty well. In the last years, Napoli, Atalanta was pretty heated up. The thing is that there is one thing you have to consider overall this game that was already on a technical side the most interesting. Both they were the top of the table. They were, because this sanction on Napoli can be already a turning point for Napoli in this season. They were 6 points with one of the very few times in the history going to Turin, looking Juventus from top to bottom, and having proper ambitions to beat Juventus at home. As I said, this is a story that has just started. But anyway, at the moment, they are traveling, having on their shoulders this load of having lost 1 point of what they had gained, and they lost also a game they didn't play. So they dropped from 6 to 5 points, but especially they feel like the players, they don't think like lawyers. They feel like, oh, come on, we would have won to play that game, surely, instead of losing in that way. So these...
and on the way that it was going, Napoli had chances to win at least one point from that clash.
As I said,
Possibly,
they had proper ambitions to beat Juventus. So it wasn't something over the top for them. It was something possible. So the thing to put in, to factor here is the fallout of this decision that mentally could be tricky for Napoli, because you would think, okay, now they will have a reaction. Well, they are not facing Parma or Genoa. They are facing Atalanta. So more than a reaction, they can actually have a kind of frustration more than a reaction. Atalanta, we saw they are still playing the best football. Don't know if this will last. They will have Ilicic for the first time on the bench, probably still not ready, but that is giving another message of confidence, even if many of their players have traveled back from the national team only 1 day before, arriving back only 2 days before the game, and only with one training. Zapata and Muriel, this pair that is working so good, is a clockwork for Atalanta. They are now starting also for Colombia. They started both games. They scored in the second, not in the first one, but they traveled back. They only had one training. As them also Deron, Freuler, Atebor, Gosens, while Napoli was in their bubble, was in isolation, in quarantine. So actually, they didn't have the stress of traveling around. So for this reason, I think it's very wide open, the game, and very wide open the results. But what happened in every single game so far of Napoli and Atalanta is that in the second half, there was always at least 2 goals scored. And this is going to happen again. So I go with the over 1.5 goals scored in the second half, which depends at which odds you are finding, but I see that they were at 1.60-65 European odds.
Yeah, don't worry. I've sorted out the prices for you. No problems at all. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think this game could be 2-2. I think there could be a red card in here, and I think there could be bookings. I think that this game could really kick off very early on. And if the referee starts with a precedent of a yellow, then it could get a little bit out of hand. So have a little look on that. I think 2-2. I think the goal second half is immoral as well, as along with the Alex Classic. But the odds are not really in our favour. Let's move on to my biggest game of the weekend. Alex, obviously Atalanta involved. It's got to be them. But for me, you've got probably the biggest challenge to Juventus this year on paper is Inter at plus 130, the draw plus 255, and the young pretenders, if you like, in AC Milan at plus 210. Tan, this is Milan's biggest test against their fiercest rivals.
Yes, indeed. When there is Derby della Madonnina, unless there is the real title encounter, but everything else disappears. It's all the respect for Napoli-Atalanta, which will be a beautiful game, but Derby della Madonnina is Derby della Madonnina. And it will be the first one now. I know it's not even a news now, but for Derby della Madonnina is a news. It will be the first one without any crowd. And actually, the crowd is always a huge factor in San Siro, more than in other things. The show, actually, the display of fans in Curva Nord and Curva Sud is breathtaking. Is one of the top 3 or top 5 best thing existing in the world of football. Not having the crowd this time will affect Inter because they are playing home, but also because in the last years, you know, with the results they are having the last 2 or 3 years, the roaring of Inter crowd was louder. But in which way they enter the game? Inter got 6 coronavirus cases. It's not clear whether if Bastoni has recovered from under 21, you would say, okay, just an under 21. Well, but Conte promoted him as a starting defender. But anyway, at the moment, 2 out of 3 of their defenders are still out. It's him and it's Skriniar who is isolated in Slovakia. He doesn't have the money to pay an airplane ambulance like Cristiano Ronaldo, so he had to stay in Slovakia. That is actually a big question mark over Inter, because what was the worst thing for Inter in these 3 games? The fact that they were conceding so many chances to the opponents. They were more solid, much more solid against Lazio, but we saw that they were conceding much more to who was playing settling back, which is exactly how Milan is playing. Milan have recovered Zlatan Ibrahimovic, huge thing. Even though they miss still Romagnoli in the centre-back, now it's not like Romagnoli is unreplaceable, but it's that just they don't have backups in defense. But see, Milan are playing very closed behind. They have Ibrahimovic. They can make the most of the spaces that is leaving Inter on the 2 sides, on the wings. There is a huge break between defense and midfield. So I think on transitions, Milan will be particularly good. So I say, which is also very well paid for being a double chance, I say double chance for Milan. I mean, draw or Milan to win. The double chance was the right choice against Inter, also against Lazio. Also because I never consider usually that, but this time is stunning. Inter are coming from 4 wins in a row in a derby, and Milan are not winning a derby, Serie A derby we are talking, since 8 games, which is the record, historical record for Inter. Now, this streak, sooner or later, must end. It's really too long for a derby. And I think there are the conditions this time around.
Alex, there's a real statement of intent here, but by both sides. I mean, Barcaman's come in at 1.97 for Inter to score 2 goals. I think the Alex Classic is in there. I mean, there's others like Lukaku to score at any time at plus 123. This game, no matter which way you look, there's value to be had.
Yeah, it's also a derby. Let's not forget about that. So both of them will try to win this match. I was reading Tan's article, and he mentioned San Siro. By the way, they are playing in Giuseppe Meazza.
They are playing in San Siro. Okay, as you are provocating me. Listen to me. The name that has been given in 1980 to the stadium when Giuseppe Meazza died, that was Stadio Giuseppe Meazza. But everybody is calling it San Siro. So because there is this urban legend saying that when Milan is playing at home, it's San Siro. When Inter is playing at home, it's Giuseppe Meazza. That's just bullshit. It's not like that. It's just that the ground is in the area of San Siro, and everybody just calls San Siro. The official name.
I'm talking about the official name. I'm not talking about the urban saying that they're playing on San Siro.
No, it's not a urban saying. Name. It's not a urban saying. It is like saying. It's like saying that Borussia Dortmund are playing at I don't know what is now the name of the sponsor.
Signal Iduna Park.
Yeah, Signal Iduna Park. Yeah, exactly. But
this is still the official name, you know.
Yeah, but it's still West Spanish Stadium.
Go on. Pick?
No, I try to do this, so you see where I went, right?
Yeah, you're both right.
You went for that. You wanted that.
I went for that. Yeah. Exactly. I think that Inter will fight Atalanta this season for the top scorers of the league. I'm not talking about the winners of the league. I'm talking about the top scorers. And the conditions that they are given right now with the coronavirus, anything is possible. I can see even Atalanta winning the league if something happens to the big names, like Cristiano right now will miss 2 games, right? Put this coronavirus into consideration, because we will have it during the whole season, right? So many times, many players will take it, will stay out 2 weeks. maybe important players. We have Champions League, we have Europa League, traveling. So it's very important to take that in consideration. Also, for this round, Cristiano, I don't think that he had any connection with his teammates from Juventus, but we will see later when we'll talk about Parma, how many cases also they are there. And I don't know, in Europe it will be a crazy with the players getting these positive tests and having to stay 2 weeks out. So this one is a derby. Doesn't matter whom is playing. AC Milan started very strong. I really like that 9 points out of 9, 3 matches with clean sheets, 7 goals scored. Zlatan is back. That is very important for them. So, and the firepower of Inter right now, we know it, But we also know that they are big time struggling at the back. Plus, right now with these players missing, I think that Alex Classic at 1.95 is written all over this match.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on to a bad game. Bad game, really, because Sampdoria plus 300 coming off that win against Fiorentina when we thought Fiorentina would be decent. But Sampdoria plus 300, draw plus 260. And Lazio, is it a trap at plus 100, Alex?
I don't know if it's a trap. I'm not impressed with this Lazio side yet this season. So plus a lot of players are missing. Immobile red carded, Lazzari, Luis Felipe injuries, Marusic, Muriqi, all of them, a lot of them. So yeah, you can give to Sampdoria a draw double chance at 1.73 if you wanna touch on this match. But it's a pass for me. I will not even look at it because it's scary a little bit with Sampdoria winning against the Fiorentina, a Fiorentina team that played decent. We said how unlucky they were against Inter. We said how good they were against Torino. So that result of Sampdoria was a little bit of shock for me to win against Fiorentina. But the only way I will touch this match, I said, at 1.73 Sampdoria draw double chance. And with, most importantly, Ciro Immobile, Lazio's top scorer and most important player being out, red-carded and banned for this match.
Sam, we're looking at the unders here. Are Lazio just going to make sure or try and make sure that they come away with the 3 points, whichever way they can?
Look, this is not in my top 5 picks, but considering all the absences for Lazio and that still things are not clicking and that Immobile is not there and that Sampdoria is weird. This Sampdoria is still doesn't have their identity, but is able to lose at home against Benevento and to win away and flaw at Fiorentina.
Yeah, but Fiorentina was defensive errors. I mean, they were like they went forward, Fiorentina. They left the back door open. They were counter-attacked upon. They could have been 3 or 4 up in the first 20 minutes, Fiorentina. And then, obviously, they got hit with a sucker punch. Disgraceful defending, pulling the shirt right in front of the referee, gives them a penalty, gives them momentum. It's like, come on now. So, for me, I mean, Sampdoria are ordinary. But Lazio can't afford to fall further and further away, Tan.
Yeah, but considering that all those missing defenders, imagine that Simone Inzaghi, Lazio manager, will be compelled for the first time to play Parolo, international midfielder, as a centre-back because he just doesn't have a centre-back anymore. He had 3 centre-backs injuries against Inter. He doesn't have more. So those mistakes that Sampdoria were able to exploit against Fiorentina, I think can happen again. So, as I said, it's not in my top 5 picks, but if I had to go with this, I see an over 2.5 goals. Because, yes, because I think it can open up. If it
opens up, then Lazio are a massive price at plus 110.
But they don't have Immobile. And,
so what? So next man up. Someone else has got to step into the breach.
I don't know. It's not the same. Muriqi probably is still not there. He's coming out of coronavirus. So I don't know if there is someone that can be enough clinical. Maybe yes, but for this reason, I prefer to go on over 2.5 goals.
Okay, then, well, let's move on because we've got Crotone at plus 1,100, the draw at plus 500, and Tan, Juve at minus 320. Where do you find the value? Because Juve, I see this being a dull game, but Juve coming out on top.
Well, obviously, there is no value in betting on Juventus, but also Juve, Cristiano Ronaldo won't be there. Aaron Ramsey is injured. McKinney also got coronavirus, and he's the only holding midfielder they had left. So we saw against Roma, but also actually against Sampdoria too in the last half hour, when finally Sampdoria was trying to play football and not just defending. We see that Juventus actually, when attacked, they can struggle. Now, it's not like Crotone got this powerful attacking force, not at all. But I think something they will try. Also, there is a very late news that the Crotone Stadium will be opened for 1,000 people. 1,000 people. And but you know, these people there in Crotone, it really doesn't happen to see so much football or so much event. Seeing Juventus coming there is anyway bringing a lot of enthusiasm, and also Crotone is playing with very high defense. Now, this will facilitate Juventus to find the goal, but also we saw that Juventus are very stretched. They is very breaking in two parts, the team. So maybe it could concede 1 goal. So I believe the value in this one is in the over 2.5 goals.
Just over 2.5 goals. Leave it at that because obviously Juve could go and win the game 3-0, Alex.
This is what I'm thinking. I mean, okay, we have Cristiano Ronaldo missing. We have Alessandro, Matthias the Light. But come on, we're talking about Crotone. 2 goals scored in 3 matches, 10 conceded. We talked about their struggles. We talked about their lack of experience. They have only one interesting player. I watched all their 3 matches. That striker, Simi, the Nigerian one. He's tall. He has some pace. He's good. But we are talking about Juventus here. And if Juventus don't win this match, it will be a bigger upset than the 4-1 Hoffenheim versus Bayern from 2 weeks ago. So Juventus, not only they will win this match, but they will do it in style. And to be honest, I really like the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo will not play in this game. I don't know. I have this thing that every time, also in the last season when he was not playing, I think that the team was playing a bit better. I don't know. This was my impression. And I think that I'm happy with Cristiano not being in this game. So this is my banker for this round. Juventus -1 on the Asian handicap at 1.72 or 73, I think it was. I think that there is plenty of value. I think that Juventus at 1.45 right now, it's a great bet for a parlay. There is no possible way Crotone will take something from this match. Yeah, they might score. I'm not saying that they might score, but how Tan said, that defensive part with trying to be higher a little bit and play, very compact, not to leave too much spaces. I think that favors Juventus big time. They have the quality, they have the skills, they have the players. There is no question about this win.
Okay, well, Ibrahim's asking, Flash, can you ask Tan if the game will be cancelled? I've already done that. He will let us know. He'll let you know. You follow him on Twitter as well. I've actually got Juve win to 0, by the way, at +130. I think that +130 is a massive price.
Just I wanted to give you an update. There is nothing at all showing up about anything happening in Crotone Juventus. And actually, on Italian bookies, the game is still well present. So
everywhere is
yes.
up. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on then. Let's move on because we're going to Bologna at +200, draw +260, Sassuolo at +130. Alex, it's goals. A blind man can see it's goals, but do you go against Bologna at home?
I don't know if you go against Bologna at home, but you go with goals. Why to complicate? You said it yourself. It's goals, right? The Alex Classic is on the cards here at 1.8, and this is my only play. Sassuolo will score. Bologna will score, in my opinion. That shocking defeat against Benevento, for me it was shocking because they were coming after 4-1 win at home against Parma, of course. But against these two sides over the years, we've seen plenty of action. Sassuolo started the season by scoring goals again. They scored 4 goals in their last 2 meetings against Crotone and Spezia. Okay, newly promoted sides. I totally understand that, but they have that magic in front that they will score. I think that a good bet here is Sassuolo over 1.5 goals, team goals. Yeah. I think that that should be priced at around even money. I'm saying it from my head, but this is what I'm seeing the price, right? But yeah, no, I'm not complicating. I'm just going with the Alex Classic at 1.8.
Yeah, both of these sides seem to they heat up and they find their rhythm and they make adjustments. I mean, that's an NFL term, but they make adjustments, Tan, at half time, and they seem to score their goals and find their openings in the second half.
Oh, yeah, okay. Even though Sassuolo probably are getting on the right track, in the right way, game by game. In the national team, many of Sassuolo players had some small slice of chances in the game to play. Caputo, Berardi, Locatelli, and they were always the most thrilling players to go out on the pitch for Italy. And so means really that they are hot at the moment. Bologna had something strange because Bologna on the day of the last game and also in the following days, they had 3 relevant injuries, all in the area of holding midfielders. So they will struggle there and especially imagine against Sassuolo if you are missing such kind of players. That defeat against Benevento is burning, but I don't know if they can heal the burn against Sassuolo. I would anyway just not complicate year 2 and go just with over 2.5 goals, which is anyway pairing with the Alex Classic, because I believe it's 160, something like that, in European 1.60 European odds, and I think it's good enough for the kind of game.
I don't think you can rule out a little 2-2, maybe even a 3-3 draw. I think it could be absolutely crazy. You could go with the both teams to score and over 3.5 goals if you wanted to get a bit more value. Anyway, let's move on. Spezia at plus 425, draw plus 300. Fiorentina minus 135, Tan, not going near them at all for a long, long time. So does that mean that Spezia are now value at plus 425?
Look, Spezia, we know that technically they are weak, but they are playing. They are trying to play football. They have tried in all their games to play football. They succeeded against Udinese. They really are. I mean, you see there is a project of football, there is a plan. So if on the other side, the team is in the wrong day, Spezia actually can do something. Fiorentina is in a strange situation because first game without Chiesa, that will debut with Juventus. It's a big change, not only because Chiesa was the best player of the team, but also because their offensive building up was always finalizing, not scoring, but assisting through Chiesa. Always is sprinting, is dribbling, is putting in, is assisting. So it won't be harmless not to have him. But the fact that Spezia anyway are trying to play and not closing behind makes me to think that the game will be played on both sides. And so without no calculation of getting a draw or defense, so I go with both teams to score, which you can find more or less at 1.65 European odds.
1.75 right now.
Perfect.
Okay, so it's like minus 135. Look at, we know that Tan, he's just squirreling them nuts away. Don't you look for too much value, Tan, will you? Alex, Spezia, can we get a double chance out of them? Because I tell you what, this Fiorentina defense is under 15 standard.
I know, but the international break came in the perfect timing for Fiorentina. They struggled against Sampdoria. They struggled against Inter. Their defense is very, very poor. They played great against Inter, and they were unlucky, as we said it. I think that there is no value in Fiorentina for sure at 1.65. No value at all. But I love Tan's both team to score at 1.75, to be honest. I will not touch this game. Maybe I want to see some lineups first. Maybe the over 2.5 look also good at 1.73. So, yeah, I think that it should be an interesting and entertaining game.
Okay, and the other thing I've started noticing, maybe we could leave one of the games out, which might be the Lazio Sampdoria game. But apart from that, they're all looking like the over 1.5. So
yes,
we might have our first parlay of the season. We've got a few dull games to come up, but they still might produce some goals. I'll start with you, Alex, because it's Torino at plus 120, the draw plus 250, and Cagliari at plus 240.
This is a game not to watch.
But will it be over 1.5?
I don't know. If you want to skip a game and you don't want to watch a game in Serie A this week, I think that this is the perfect opportunity for you to do so. Both in a very, very bad shape. I don't know. Struggling to find the back of the net is one thing, but playing so poor is another thing. Okay, they don't even create. There is more creativity, to be honest, from Cagliari right now than from Torino. I think that we might see a draw game. Why not? Maybe a draw with goals at 3.5. 1-1 kind of draw at 6.2. I don't know. Everything is on the cards here. But yeah, I fancy a draw. It's not one of my top tips, but I fancy a draw at 3.5. Just a lean.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can lean all you like. There's plenty of other value to be had, but
yes, I think that is risky a little bit to play the over 1.5 in this one.
Oh yeah, I've put a cross against it. I've already put a cross
even
against
it. The odds don't help you at 1.22. Why?
No, we've got 9 games though. We've got 9 games, and at the moment I've put a cross through Sampdoria and Lazio because I think Lazio could win that 1-0. And Torino Cagliari, I've just put a cross against it because, Tan, that's what it deserves.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, let's remind we have 9 games, not 10, because no bookies anywhere in the world are putting odds on Verona Genoa.
Yes.
Because Genoa are playing with a partial. Well, they still have 15 coronavirus cases, so probably will be compelled to play a couple of players from the academy. And imagine also how much they could have trained. So nobody else.
Imagine Tancredi yesterday was asking me, did you ever find any odds for this Verona game? I was looking. There was no odds because I want to play this Verona game straight win. You know.
No, that's not what. The first part is real. The second part is Alex classic lie.
But if all these cases with Genoa, of course it was a home win, right?
Yeah, that's the reason why they are not putting any odds on that because it's too risky. I mean, it's very hard. I mean, it's not only probably they will play a team anyway of 11 professionals. Maybe there will only be one player from academy. But
yeah, you've got to be careful with that, though. You've always got to be careful with them types because the lads, they come in, they actually want to like prove their point. It's their chance that they weren't expecting to get. And sometimes,
yeah, but it's a tough situation. Many of them were in quarantine, couldn't train. I mean, it's really like in a normal situation they shouldn't have to play. Anyway, I forgot what was the game.
Torino Cagliari.
Oh yeah, totally agreeing with Alex. It's like. I will be surprised if anything entertaining will happen in this game.
All right. Well, I'll stay with you, Tan. I'll stay with you. We're going to go over the game.
There is one thing to say, maybe, to look out. because Torino just signed this new trequartista, Slovenian, Gojak. I don't know if he will play, but many people are talking about him. I don't know if he will play. Maybe could be the only reason of interest in this game. But anyway, he said a draw at the full time with goals. I take just a smoother draw at the half time. Do you remember the whole draw at the half time of Tancredi is at 2.10 European odds?
Okay, and we'll lean on that. Then maybe the draw at half time, and Alex is going to go with draw at full time. Sabino, yes, 11 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We'll have Roman on from La Liga Lowdown for La Liga with Martin Green and myself. Now, I think this could be low-hanging fruit. Udinese at plus 120, draw plus 250, and the Serie whipping boys Parma at plus 260. Tan.
Now, I am pretty pissed off by what happened yesterday, because this game, this tip was my tip of the week. Already before what happened yesterday, because Udinese that have 0 win, they have 3 defeats out of 3, 0 goals scored and 4 goals conceded. They have been not brilliant, but not that bad to justify these results. And Parma possibly were even too lucky to get those 3 points against Verona in the last round. And I thought that finally Udinese could come out. I was, in fact, it's even in my article, the odds were on Udinese to win 2.10. Then while I was writing yesterday night, what happened? Parma releasing an official statement. Yes, I'm talking. It was 2.10 yesterday night. What happened? While I was writing, Parma released an official statement saying that 4 players got coronavirus. They actually undisclosed the identity, so far, the identity of the 4 players. When I saw that, I said, damn, if I would be a professional punter, in the next 5 minutes, I would just throw my money on this. In fact, as Alex was not requestingly very immediately pointing out, the odds have slashed from yesterday night 2.10 European to now 1.70, 1.75. And even before that news, it was very good to pick Udinese to win. Now, pick it anyway. If you would have picked yesterday night, would be great.
Yeah, okay. So what we'll do is, I think that's probably, we've got to do the 2-team parlay that goes through to the 4 leagues. I think that Udinese gets the biggest tick so far. Do you agree, Alex?
Yeah, I totally agree with this 1.7 for Udinese after that statement. I was not sure before that, but after seeing the statement from Parma, okay, you cannot be convinced 100%. Don't put your house on this match because it's dangerous, you know. Like Flash said earlier, the other players will come maybe stronger than the starting 11, the best ones, and they will try to demonstrate something. What I like the most here, that Parma spent almost 9 million euros on a Romanian player, a very, very good under 21, Mihaila from Craiova. I think that we will hear a lot from this guy.
What's his position?
He's playing on the wing, on the left wing, forward.
So he's like the classical fast winger.
Yes. Okay. Also he can play as a forward. So he can play in many positions.
Okay. I will put an eye on that.
Yeah, put an eye on that because he was the best player from Craiova. Craiova second place last year. Almost knocked. Almost win the title against CFR Cluj, but they were a bit unlucky in the last match. Mihaila was also injured in the last match. So, yeah, I think that this guy deserves the money, and Parma were saying that they are looking at 30-40 million euros to sell him in a couple of years.
Then I had yesterday, 2 days ago, my fantasy football friends auction. You have to tell me these tips before doing the show, because that was very valuable, very valuable. Okay, I will
good. We got one more game to go, gentlemen. Just to let you know that obviously following this show at 12 o'clock Eastern time, we will be going through the Bundesliga. Some strange old things going over there, but we managed to get a few bankers in. Tan's absolutely flying. It's amazing that even the clock is right twice a day. Now, Roma minus 300, draw plus 460, Benevento at plus 1,000. Alex, I found an absolute gem here at very good odds.
What, Roma and under 4.5? The Martin.
No, I will tell you afterwards.
I don't know how to play this game. This is why I didn't make it official. I think that the best way to consider this game is halftime, full time at 1.91. This is the only way I would play this game for Roma. I still don't think that Benevento with those two wins are a Serie A side. I still think that they will struggle this season. But yeah, let's see them in action 2-3 more rounds and talk after.
Okay, Tan, are you finding Roma halftime, full time at 1.91? Is that up your street?
I'll show you. Maybe someone can see that. These are the tips sent yesterday to Alex, to Flash, for putting in graphics. Is exactly the one that I sent you, the one I'm looking at it. Roma to win first half and second half. They are building confidence. They won at Udine. They were great against Juventus. They also have Smalling now, so big difference. So I'm going for that. By the way, you said I am flying, but even a broken clock is right twice in a day. Well, as I'm flying, then I'm Marty McFly, and we know that the clock of Marty McFly can be right many times along a day.
Okay. Well, I'm actually going for a good plus money one here.
He didn't catch the reference. I throw a great cinematographer.
He caught it, but
he's pretending he's not listening.
He's looking at another clock. Yeah, he's doing that. He will put you on the corner, not to give. Okay, I don't
any
want
satisfaction.
Okay, not giving any satisfaction, not even interested what you're saying. Many times during this season. Many times. Been there, done that. I know.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going for Roma to win the game and both teams to score. I think that Benevento, I think they will score, but I think Roma will win, and it's at decent plus money. Now, I'm going to run through your selections, gentlemen, but I need your thinking caps on because we need the second leg of the 2-leg parlay. And remember, we had it up last week, so we want it up again this week. So, Freddie, can you stick up our this week's selections, please? And obviously, if there's 2 stars against it, it will be a banker. So, Alex's picks, Napoli and Atalanta, both teams to score in the second half at plus 135. Inter versus AC Milan. Alex Classic at minus 105. Juventus -1 on the Asian handicap is his banker at minus 135. And Bologna Sassuolo at Alex Classic at minus 125. Tancredi's picks. Milan double chance at minus 185. Napoli and Atalanta over 1.5 goals in the second half at minus 160. Udinese, well, it was at plus 110 when I wrote it, but we know now it's around minus 135, but it's still going in. Bologna, Sassuolo, over 2.5 goals in the game at minus 180. There's some massive squirrel story now. And Roma, half-time, full-time, at minus 125. Now we look to the value. It's Inter and AC Milan Alex Classic at minus 105. I think that's my absolute banker. Juventus to win to nil at plus 130. I like that one also. Roma to win and both teams to score at plus 175. And I just can't pass up Lazio at plus 100 away against a Sampdoria side. I think it's going to be a really dull game. Gentlemen, have we got a second leg to our parlay, please? Alex, who would you put forward?
I mean, I would go with Inter versus Milan, both teams to score.
Okay, what price would that be, roughly?
I think that Wait 1 second.
Okay, well, what about you, Tan? Why he gives me that price? What do you
Udinese, Udinese Parma, totally.
We've done that one already. That's already in the bag.
You want another one?
Yeah, well,
okay.
I want you to put one forward.
Minus 175.
Excellent.
The price.
Okay. So I say Napoli, Atalanta over 1.5 goals in the second half.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we've got that as well. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Inter.
With free team parlay.
No, we're not doing that business. No, because there'll be one that lets us down. The thing is, last time we had a parlay in Bundesliga up, parlay in Premier League up, parlay in Serie up, and the parlay in La Liga was let down by my selection. So, I mean, I know, you can't believe that. So we're going Inter Milan, AC Milan, both teams to score, and Udinese straight win. Now, before I say goodbye to these boys, they can go and get different T-shirts on or whatever they want to do, because we're going to do Bundesliga in about 40 minutes. Then, if you like this video, which you should do, and by the way, there's 121 of you watching and only 51 thumbs up. That's about 40%. So come on, thumbs up before we say goodbye. But if you like this video, then please subscribe. Turn it round, 71,000, can't be wrong. Join the gang and press the bell and we'll notify you. You'll never miss any content again. Press the link in the description. That'll send you over to our articles. It'll help you read. Maybe get a little bit more of there's a few parlays over there from Alex, from Dave, from Tan. There's all sorts of writers on all sorts of sports, because SBR, we're absolutely flying right across the world. Gentlemen, I'll see you again soon. I need to go and have a couple of tablets and do coffee. Everyone in the chat, join us again in about 35-40 minutes when we go over to Germany for Bundesliga. But as far as Serie A goes, up over 15 units in 3 weeks.
Arrivederci.
See you soon.
Arrivederci tutti.